Hey folks, man, this is Monk, and we are back with another episode of Classes of Cinematics, and I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo.
Yeah, folks, and today it's all about the chase, and we're going to be talking about some of the best car chases, vehicle chases, pretty much in film history, man. And chases are always fun, man. You know, they just add that element of excitement. Usually a finale in the film, or they could be in the middle, man, to kind of serve as a bridge to carry the story along, man. But when done well, they are some of the most memorable film sequences out there.
Yes, gets the blood flowing.
Yeah, and today I'm going to set it off with one of my favorites, man. This is not necessarily an action-packed film. It's a coming-of-age film called Cooley High, and I think this scene in particular is really dope, man. It's actually a joyride that our characters partake in. You know, it's one of them things that, you know, you might have been lulled into as a teenager. Someone shows up with a car, you know, and cars were dope, man. They give you access, they give you range and all of that. So in this film, our main characters, you know, one of the guys comes around, you know, these guys are kind of goons though in this neighborhood. So they decide to go out and take a joyride with these guys, man. And it's kind of funny. At one point, our character, Preach, is it Preach or... Preach. Yeah. He gets behind the wheel.
Yeah. Can't drive or
doing this joyride. and on top of that, man, these jokers, they're riding around, whatever. He can't drive, but I know how to drive. Mm-hmm. They actually bump into the police car in this film. And then the chase ensues. This is a really short chase, but I think it's also a really cool chase from this era, man. We've got these big body boat-like cars just floating, man, and they're turned through the streets, man. And at one point, they end up driving through a warehouse, and I think that's where this is really dope because it's almost like the bigger than an airplane hangar, man. This space that they're driving through, bobbing and weaving, going through doors and corridors, narrowly missing
pillars,
boxes. Yeah, it's really cool sequence, man. It's really short, but it's also a really fun time, man. There's some comedic antics. They run into a forklift, and the cop cars get jammed up. They eventually, you know, lose the cops, and you know, and get away. But it leads to consequences later in the film. But it's definitely a really fun moment, man. I love that sequence, man.
Definitely. So I'm going to start this thing off with one of my personal favorite car chase scenes. It's from Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Came out in 1991. And this chase starts right after the melee in the mall. John Connor, you know, he's got to get low. So he gets on his dirt bike and starts riding through the parking garage. And the T-1000 starts chasing him on foot. And he can run about as fast as the car can drive.
He's running like 45, like easily.
You know, I mean, when you almost hawking a dirt bike, dog, it's just like, man. So
that's wild.
So then, you know, John Connor, you know, barely gets away, you know, takes it to the street. You know what I'm saying? And at this point in time, the T-1000 then runs up on this dude driving a semi-truck, throws him right on out, and now he's in the semi, chasing after John Connor. So John Connor seeks refuge in a drained canal, and that's when this thing gets real.
Yeah, it's almost like a canal that's feeding into the LA River.
And so what ends up happening is as John Connor's dipping, he thinks that he's safe, and the next thing you know, the semi comes jumping off the bridge into the canal.
Man,
and
that shot is crazy,
it's
bro.
Wild. And the thing of it is that then you see how menacing this semi truck is. It's like watching a shark chase a goldfish. Okay, and John Connor, he's doing the best he can. His little bike, wee, you know. And then at the same time, you got the T-800, you know, trying to catch up, and he's hawking on a Harley Davidson Fat Boy. And then that's when you see him start doing the little shotgun, one wrist shotgun, bam, busting open the gates and stuff. And, you know, the semi is just too much for John Connor's dirt bike. He gets to the point where he starts like hitting him on the back with it and stuff like that. And luckily, the T-800 gets into breaks into the canal and jumps the Harley Davidson Fat Boy off of a 4-story ramp. Almost.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Into the canal, and then he's doing
that guy's probably having back problems to this day. Whoever was on that bike,
and he's bobbing, weaving, trying to get around the semi so he can save John Connor. And you know he hits him with a little move, bip bip, and then gets around the front of the truck. gets John Connor, does a little bit more of that wrist work with the shotty, boom, blows out the tire. Truck smacks into a part of the canal, explodes. All is right with the world. The reason why this scene is so awesome because it was all practical effects. They really jumped the semi off the bridge. They really jumped the fully loaded Harley Davidson Fat Boy off of that 4-story high ramp. Made no adjustments, and I mean you can see it. It delivers.
I don't know if it was 4 stories. I'll give it maybe 1.5. And I'm looking at it on the screen.
It said in the article that I read it was 4 stories.
They was sizing it, bro. They was sizing it.
I don't know.
That ain't 4 stories. Look at it. That's not 4 stories, bro. Look how tall the truck is. That's not 4 stories, man.
It definitely doesn't look like 4 stories. It looks like maybe 2. But yeah. So either which way, they really jumped that bike off, and they didn't make no enhancements to the bike. It was fully loaded. Same one that you would drive off of the showroom floor is the same one that they jumped off that pillar. So
it's an amazing sequence, man. That's one of them ones where I remember watching this in the theaters when it came out as a kid. I mean,
if this chase scene don't get your blood flowing, you might have to see the doc and get that checked.
I feel you, bro. So my next one is going to be from Mission Impossible 2, and I think this is right on the line, man. I think this is a year 2000 film. And this is the motorcycle chase, man, with Tom Cruise. This happens right near the end. He kind of escapes the bad guys. They got him surrounded in the compound, and they send all these goons at him. So what ends up happening is one of the goons has a motorcycle, or some of them, and Cruise, our character Ethan, shoots one of them, man. This scene is so dope, man. We got Ving Rhames' character in the helicopter talking about Ethan, but Ethan gets the bike. It's a crazy situation. His girlfriend in this movie, not really his girlfriend, but but she's about to die if they don't get her this antidote. So he's racing against the clock. Man, he hops on his motorcycle, and this becomes one of the most brilliant sequences captured on film, man. He gets low, the crazy part about this, this is also an era when he started, he's doing these stunts his own. So most of the motorcycle footage we see of him is him on the bike himself, man. He's like a really great motorcycle rider, man. You look at some of the stuff in this thing, man. There's stuff blowing up. He's being chased, man. He's out though, but he does an endo. You know what I'm saying? With the pistol out, man, it's beautiful. Like the camera work on this thing alone is just a really high kinetic, high power, footage that we're seeing, man. This is a John Woo directed film, so the action for the most part is going to be top notch. But it's just so cool watching Cruise out here on this bike, man. There's a sequence right here, when he hits the joint, it's crazy, man. And he spins the bike around, coming out of the endo, and fires on this gas tank. Boom, 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 boom. It blows up, man. There's a part 2 later on when he gets down on the road, and he actually hops off the bike. So the bike's over here. He's on the side of the bike, but still holding on to the handlebars, sliding on his feet, dude. It's amazing, man. This thing is crazy, man. When you watch the whole thing play out, I think Mission Impossible 2 is probably an okay entry in this series, man. And there's some plotting stuff that gets wonky, but the stunt work in this film is just top notch, man. Those definitely John Woo moments are insane in this film, man. It's beautiful to watch. And then at the very end, when he gets to the destination, there's a motorcycle duel with him and the bad guys. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. The bad guys on the other side revving his bike, and Cruise is revving his bike, and then they just rush each other, vroom, and jump off the bikes and clutch in midair. It's almost like they meet each other and bear hug, and you know what I'm saying? And then he continue fighting, man. But this motorcycle stuff that's going on here is crazy, man. There's one point where he grips the bars and does a burnout while he's still moving to blind the enemy, yo. And these dudes run into a semi truck, bro. Like, and they're dead. There's nothing. They're dead. They're gone, bro. They
exploded.
Yeah, we gonna need to get the dental records, bro, because we ain't gonna know who you was other than that, man. It's a really, really dope scene, man. One of the greatest chases I've seen, man, in the films, man. Yo, right here, yo, they tail bump. Imagine if Eddie Furlong had, when he got tail bumped, turned around on the semi and started shooting at the T-1000. Yeah. That's what he does in this movie. It's right. It's so crazy, man. I love. Like this ain't a realistic car chase at all, but like it's nuts, bro. This is insane, and I love when the movies just go insane, man. Yes. Let me have some fun, man. Yes, take it there.
Yes. You know. Oh, look, there you go on his feet,
dude. This is crazy. Come on, son. Who's doing this? And that's really him. This is not a game.
I wonder what kind of shoes he's wearing.
He got like a Teflon coat on them joints or something.
Do that?
Yeah, man. Mission Impossible 2, the motorcycle chase. If you want to look it up.
There you go. So my next movie is the Deadpool. It's the 5th and last installment of the Dirty Harry series, and you know,
I can see it.
Shout out to my Mama Blockbuster. She put me onto this scene a while ago, and you know I've loved it ever since. But pretty much what happens is at this point in the film, Dirty Harry has a hit on his head, and what better way to take him out than with a souped-up RC-10 car with a 1963 Chevy Corvette body attached to it that's actually a bomb. You know what I'm saying? What a testament to creativity and inventiveness. And so this takes place in the hilly streets of San Francisco, and pretty much when you first see the RC car, you see there's somebody that's got this like remote control hooked up in his car, and he's kind of following behind the RC car. Dirty Harry don't know what's going on. But then he comes to a red light, and the little RC car is dipping so fast, it just drives smooth under his car and right past him. And Dirty Harry's like, what the hell? What's going on here? And then he realizes something ain't right. And
I would not have realized something wasn't right. Come on.
He puts his Oldsmobile 98 in reverse. Wing. And then the RC car's chasing him in reverse. And the next thing you know, it's you get everything under the sun that you would ask for in a car chase. Like I said, these streets in San Francisco, they're iconic. A lot of movies have had car chases in these streets. Why? Because if you go over 60, you are getting airtime. Mm-hmm. I mean, and this does not disappoint. The 98, it's getting a lot of hang time. But that little RC car, I mean, it's twisting, it's turning. He's all over the place. And then you start to see a lot of things that are reminiscent of some of the most memorable car chase scenes that we've seen in other films. Like you get the iconic drive on the sidewalk that's crowded full of people, but instead of it being the Oldsmobile, it's the RC car, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Getting it.
I mean, this thing is cruising as fast as a real car, and like I said, I mean, I love this scene. It's fun to watch because I've never seen nothing
they
like
getting out the way like it's a real,
it's a real car. Everyone on the sidewalk, they're like,
"This is crazy."
You know what I'm saying? And then you got the guy who's steering the RC car. He's trailing closely behind, and he's in a Monte Carlo. Looks kind of like the one Denzel was driving in Training Day, but I can't for sure. I can't pinpoint the year. But yeah, then like I said, once they start hitting them hills, man. The RC car with that. It's tripping me out though. Just watching this as we're talking about it. The RC car is hitting them hills, but it's a bomb. Like, I don't think I'd be dipping the car over the hills like that. If it's a bomb, it might prematurely explode. But nevertheless, man, you know, the Oldsmobile 98 can't take all of this, you know, bumping and grinding that's going on and just up the hills, down the hills, you know. So eventually the race car does catch up to them. It blows up, but luckily Dirty Harry and his partner were able to Jump out of the car.
To evade, yeah. Yeah, that's wild, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. You know what's funny, man? There used to be a show called Mr. Wizard back in the day, and I don't know what year that came out. I feel like it might have been around this year, so I don't know if they stole this sequence from Mr. Wizard or Mr. Wizard stole their sequence from this, because there was a scene in Mr. Wizard where we got a remote control car chasing another car trying to take it out. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like. Yeah, man. This is wild. Yo, I saw something the other day that was crazy, man. There was this thing now where you're in your crib in this thing that simulates a car. It rocks back and forth and everything, but your car is outside. Your remote control car is outside, riding in the street with a camera on it, so you can see. Like, man, it looked beautiful. It was it was like cloud RC or something like that. Man, it was beautiful.
Isn't technology great?
Yeah, my next one I got is going to be from the film Ronin. I think this film is 1998, if I believe. And this is a really great film, dude. So yeah. Robert De Niro, Jean Reno. Takes place in Europe. We got a group of mercenaries. They don't know each other, but they're pulled together for this job. And this sequence I'm talking about in particular is a car chase through Paris. It involves a BMW M5 and a Peugeot 406, which is a French manufactured car. And but what's happening in this sequence, man? I believe De Niro's and Reno, they've been double crossed by the woman that's brought them into this job, at the last minute. And props to her. She's driving the BMW M5, and I think this M5 is dipping, bro. So De Niro and Reno, they're in the Peugeot, chasing her down through the streets of Paris, man. And this is some of the most intense car chase scenery I've seen. And you're going to see, it's all also real cars. They said they employed hundreds of stunt drivers to get this done throughout this film, because there's a couple sequences in this, but I think this is the ultimate one. And she's whipping this car, man. We're talking about, they said these cars got up to 120 miles per hour in some of these streets, and we're talking about tight, a lot of traffic, pedestrians, really narrow streets. They're going through tunnels. Yeah. They're dipping, man. It's really cool, because there's a one point in this, man, where the woman driver, I forgot who's the actress that plays her. Like they narrowly avoid some shit, and like they don't show her full face, but you can see just from the part of her face that you do see, she's smiling. It's thrilling. It's like, we this shit's deadly. It's high stakes, but that was kind of cool, and it is crazy. The police are chasing them. They're coming after her because whatever. She's digging into the messing up the cops as they're pursuing them, tripping them up. There's explosions, near misses, man. They're messing up other vehicles, and it's just beautiful, man. You know what? This was the biggest commercial for the M5, because the M5 is the M3 is kind of their sports coupe, but the M5 is kind of, I think the M5 is the 4-door version of that. Right. But it's also the big body, man. But you see how nimble this car is moving through these streets, and she's whipping. I think it's stick shift too, man. She's whipping this joint, man. It's crazy watching this joint, bro. It's one of the most intense. And it goes on forever. It's like
it's long, dude.
I remember I bought this movie back in the day, and it caught me. I was like, I'm like, yo, this shit is still going there, dipping, man. And it's not a game, man. You get the real sense of speed. What I like about it, and the danger, and like I said, the performance of this vehicle, man. A lot of the classic ones, they're driving boats, man. But this is what they call BMW, the ultimate driving machine. That's kind of their motto, and you actually see it on full display here, man. It actually ends up with our, the woman driver. She ends up in a fiery crash. You know what I'm saying? But it's dope watching this. Yeah, look at my man right here. You see my man De Niro's whipping that.
He just hit the
Peugeot. That's one of my favorite parts. I was looking for that part last night. I can't believe I missed it. Yeah, and it's crazy. He does that 3-point turn when this is beautiful, man. You see, they're driving, bro. They're driving, man. I love this fucking sequence, man. Beautiful, bro. Definitely check this film out. It's a great film as well. We might get to it one day, man. But
absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing out with one of the most iconic car chase scenes in filmmaking history is 1971's The French Connection. And part of the reason why this chase is so memorable and so just loved by the masses is because of how real it looks and it feels. And part of that is because the production crew did not get a permit to do this down these busy Brooklyn streets, okay? So all of the traffic, all of the pedestrians, some of them were actors, actresses, but the majority of them were just regular people on their way to work. This thing was shot early in the morning. And so it starts off with Popeye Doyle. Ain't that a name? Popeye Doyle. So he's chasing after his assailant. They were on foot, and the assailant gets on the subway train.
Did they start the whole "I'm a cop, let me commandeer this vehicle" thing?
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I was just about to say. So the dude gets on the train, and he and Popeye, couldn't get on the train, so he runs down. He says, "Yo, I'm a cop. I'm commandeering this vehicle," and he gets just a civilian to give him his car, and his motivation is to get to the next train stop before the train. So he's hawking the train, and he's squealing through, just dipping. It looks like he's driving a Pontiac GTO, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, man, he's bobbing and weaving through traffic, driving on the right side of the street, the wrong side of the street, wherever he needs to go. Tires is screeching, and he is just, he's driving like a bat out of hell almost. And what ends up happening is then he makes it to the next station, but the train now is the guy is like, man, we're not stopping nowhere. I'm getting away. So now the train is just it's in full dip mode. So Popeye, in turn, is in full dip mode, and so when he comes back for the second wave of the car chase, that's where things really get intense. It's already a very condensed street. There's like I said, there's a lot going on. There's traffic. There's people everywhere, but there's this one part where he starts driving through intersections with traffic that's just coming both ways, and you'll see that he hits a white car. That was not part of the movie. That was not scripted. He actually hit a man that was on his way to work. And the crazy thing about it is they didn't even stop filming. They just keep rocking with Popeye as he's just cruising through. And it's wild because the production company, they actually got away with this by just pretty much telling the guy that they were going to pay for the damages on his car. So things you get away with in the 70s, I guess. Yeah. But yeah. So then now he's up on the sidewalk. He's like I said, driving in the wrong side of the street. He almost hits a woman with a baby carriage. So he's stopping for nothing, for nobody. Completely obliterates the car in the process. It starts off looking like a decent vehicle. By the time he actually gets the train stops and he gets to the person that he is chasing, the car, the dude who he took it from ain't gonna want it back. It's destroyed, dog. Like the bumpers have.
They probably got to pay for that. I do like the intensity of this scene because one thing that's cool I think we get is those POV camera angles.
Yes.
We get Doyle in the car, and then we get the kind of the over the dash view as well as he's bobbing and weaving through the streets. Man, it really makes it just the energy of it, and combined with the music, man, it's just really intense, man.
It feels like you're in the car. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it feels like you're going at a very fast speed as well.
Honestly, he could have easily stayed up with this train, I think, because the train and where it's at in those trestles, they're not going particularly fast. There's a lot of stops.
It's not a bullet train.
Yeah. So I think ultimately he wants to get far enough ahead where he does have time to get out and get up to the station in order to catch it, that way, so... But yeah, man.
But yeah, it's a great scene. Great scene. Really good movie. Like I said, this movie is revered because of how real it looks, and this scene does not disappoint, man.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, man. But we're definitely gonna revisit this one, man. It's a lot of really cool chases, in the films, man. Over the years,
absolutely.
Man. So we'll be back for more, man. Hopefully you'll be back for more, and subscribe to the channel. Check out the merch below to help support us, man. Tell your friends about us, man. And we're gonna be back soon, man. Classics of Cinematics. on Instagram, and catch me, Monk, at Classics of Instagram. At
Classics of Instagram. Yeah, baby.
You catch me, Monk, at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram.
And this is Bobby Blockbuster. As always, you can catch me on this show or on our other movie film review show. Can't catch me on no Instagram, though. I don't be there.
All right, folks, we out of here.
Classics of Great. That's where I'm at.
Oh, shit.